Hey team, how's it going? I just wanted to put this little quick video together for you to show what we are doing to help our clients prepare for the changes coming down from the NAR settlement. We are finding that there are a lot of people who have yet to implement a plan for the communication of the trade-offs that are going to start to happen when clients are going to need to make the decision about how to proceed on some of this stuff. So once again, the tool that I like to bring in to help solve this and many other problems is Mortgage Coach. And I just wanted to show you how I'm working with Mortgage Coach to solve that issue. So welcome back to Mortgage Coach. This is going to open up in a browser just like this. You're going to go over here to the hamburger menu, go on down to the Switch View tab. Once you click on that, you're going to see that we have 4 different scenarios here, side by side by side. And so what I'm putting in this one is I'm saying, okay, what if we had a buyer who was looking at a $500K purchase price? They want to put 5% down. And either they're not getting any help from the seller, or maybe they're getting some help from the seller, whether that goes to paying the buyer's agent commission or whether that goes to paying for seller paid closing costs, which can also be considered interested party contributions. In Mortgage Coach, I'm making sure to be very careful about how this is all calculated so that we don't run afoul of any of the rules that are set up by the current limits that are in place on seller paid contributions or interested party contributions. So you're going to start to see that play out here. But our first section shows 500K, 5% down, no seller help, with the buyer having to pay what I consider to be sort of an average commission. We can change this. This is going to be something that you and I, as the realtor, are going to talk about. What do you want this to look at like? Do we want it to be 3% off the bat, or do we want to, fall somewhere else? That's a whole other conversation. The point of this is that we can show it to our clients. And so I don't know if you can see this because I'm not sure if my video is in the way, but if you go all the way down to the bottom, well, almost down to the bottom here, you'll be able to see the total cash to close, which is inclusive of the buyer's down payment, total closing costs, and they're paying their buyer's commission. The second scenario is, okay, well, what if we were to see that same house and we still weren't getting help out from the sellers, but in order to help fund our closing costs, we can increase the offer by about $15,000. That, in this case, would be the maximum interested party contribution of 3%. So we can basically finance our $15,000 worth of closing costs. And as you can see down here, we end up bringing a lot less money to the closing table. Maybe this is a little bit more realistic as to what they might have been thinking before they structured it that way. We can also see very clearly that the trade-off for doing this is maybe about $115 a month. So yeah, it's not free money, but we want to show them very clearly what that trade-off looks like, and to be able to show them that in a short period of time, your monthly payment, what that looks like over the next 5 years. Most people will either sell or refinance within that time. And then, of course, show them what that looks like over the full 30 years, or we could make that 15 years or whatever is realistic. The third scenario is a little different from that. Now we're starting to get some help out from the sellers. So what if we go ahead and offer $512.5 and the seller pays that 2.5 buyer's agent commission, which is $12,500, but they don't cover your closing costs. This is just a different way of slicing it, but your cash to close is just a little bit higher. You did get a little bit of something back. Then I wanted to show for the last one, okay, what if we really get some buy-in from the sellers? We're going to offer them $515K. Hey, this is debatable. This could be list price. It's always negotiable. Everything's negotiable. But let's just say we're both playing ball. We offer $515K to win. The seller pays the agent commission, and they're also going to contribute the maximum amount to closing costs. Well, in that case, we're only bringing less than 30 grand to the table, which is awesome. I think that's probably where most first-time home buyers in this price range are going to like to see that number fall. So we can also see that, yeah, that would be awesome. If we could get that to happen, we're going to save a lot of money over the, especially the mid and the long term. Anyway, I think this is a really great solution. It's very elegant. It's a very clear way to communicate some of these trade-offs to people. If you go into the More Info tab under the Closing Cost section, we're going to make very clear where the non-APR cost of your buyer's agent commission is showing up versus if you didn't have it in there, or whether it was being financed, and whether or not you've got seller contributing towards your closing costs. You can see that in even greater detail if you click on the fee detail screen. We can see that, okay, there's both a real estate commission here and a contribution by the seller, sort of offsetting itself a little bit. We can show that in a whole bunch of different ways. So I just wanted to let you guys know that this is out there, and it's something that I would have no problem putting together specifically for you or any of your clients. I welcome it. I think when we eliminate analysis paralysis, it causes people to be able to do the thing they want to do and get off the fence. So let's start spring off with a bang. And by the time July gets here and we're making all these changes, we will already have a plan. I hope to make a plan with you soon. See you then.